If your 7-year-old comes up to you and asks for some pocket money, what do? Most parents would probably just give it to them, right? It seems like the easiest thing to do. But in many Jewish families, the response is often a question back to the child. What value did you create to earn that money? This one simple question flips the entire concept of money on its head and reveals a powerful secret to financial education that starts from a very young age. It's not about being strict. It's about building a foundation for a lifetime of financial wisdom. Let's imagine a little boy named Ari. He's about 8 years old, and he's just seen the coolest new toy car in a shop window. It's all he can think about. He runs home and asks his parents if he can have the money to buy it. Now, many parents might say maybe for your birthday or just hand over the cash. But Ari's parents do something different. They sit him down and say, "That's a great goal, Ari. Let's figure out how you can earn the money for it." They don't just give him the money. Instead, they brainstorm with him. They suggest he could offer to wash the neighbor's car, help with gardening, or even set up a small stand to sell lemonade or candy on their street. At first, Ari is a bit disappointed. He just wanted the toy, not a job. But his parents encourage him, helping him get the supplies he needs to start. He decides to try selling candy. He figures out how much the candy costs him, how much he should sell it for to make a profit. And he spends a few afternoons offering them to people in his neighborhood. It's not always easy. Some people say no. So one day it rains, but slowly he starts making money. He keeps it all in a jar, and every evening he counts it with his dad. He sees his earnings grow. Finally, the day comes when he has enough money. He goes to the store with his own hard-earned cash and buys that toy car. The feeling he gets is 10 times better than if the money had just been given to him. He didn't just get a toy, he learned a fundamental lesson. He learned that money doesn't just appear out of thin air. It's something you earn by creating value for others, even if that value is just a convenient, sweet treat on a sunny afternoon. This little story about Ari illustrates a profound mindset that is often instilled in Jewish children. It's not about complex financial theories or stock market analysis. It's about 3 core principles that are taught through simple, everyday experiences. The first principle is this: money is a reward for value. This is the big one. In this mindset, money isn't an entitlement. It's not something you get just for existing or for doing basic chores that are part of being in a family. It's a direct result of providing something that someone else finds useful or desirable. This connects work directly to reward. If you create no value, you earn no money. This simple equation teaches kids to stop thinking, "What can I get?" and start thinking, "What can I give? What problem can I solve? How can I help?" It shifts their perspective from being a passive consumer to an active creator of value. It's a subtle but incredibly powerful change. Compare this to the common approach, where kids get a fixed allowance every week, regardless of what they do. That can teach a child that money is something you're owed, something that just arrives on a schedule, like a subscription. It disconnects money from effort and value creation. The second core principle is that making money is a skill, and like any skill, it requires practice. It's not about luck or being born into the right family. It's a muscle that needs to be exercised. This is why you see stories of Jewish parents encouraging their children to try small business ventures, like Ari selling candy. They are allowed to try. More importantly, they are allowed to fail. Maybe Ari's first attempt at selling lemonade was a total flop. Maybe he spent more on lemons and sugar than he earned. His parents wouldn't see that as a failure. They'd see it as a learning opportunity. They would sit with him and ask, "Okay, what went wrong? Were our prices too high? Did we choose a bad location? How can we do it better next time?" They turn failure into a business lesson. This creates a safe environment for kids to develop resilience, problem-solving skills, and a healthy relationship with risk. They learn that making mistakes is not the end of the world. It's part of the process of learning to succeed. This builds what we now call an entrepreneurial mindset from the ground up. The third principle is to understand money before you spend it. This goes beyond just earning. Once Ari started making money, his parents didn't just let him put it in a piggy bank and forget about it. They taught him to track it. They might get him a little notebook where he writes down his income from selling candy. He also writes down his expenses, the cost of the candy he had to buy in the first place. By doing this, he's learning the basics of a profit and loss statement without even knowing the fancy term for it. He can clearly see, I earned this much, I spent this much, and this is what I have left over. This is my profit. This simple act of tracking teaches financial literacy in the most practical way possible. It demystifies money, turns it from an abstract concept into something tangible and manageable. The child learns that every dollar has a story where it came from and where it's going. This is the foundation of budgeting, saving, and investing that they'll use for the rest of their lives. So, how can we apply these powerful lessons in our own lives, whether we have children or not? If you are a parent, the application is quite direct. Start looking for small opportunities for your children to earn money. This doesn't mean turning your home into a sweatshop. It means reframing tasks. Instead of just giving them money for a new video game, challenge them to earn it. Maybe they can help a neighbor with their garden, walk their dog, or offer a car washing service in the neighborhood. Encourage their ideas. Help them figure out the costs and the pricing. The key is to avoid just giving money without any connection to effort or value. You're not just teaching them about money, you're teaching them responsibility, initiative, and the pride that comes from achieving a goal through their own hard work. And if you're an adult, especially if you feel like you're constantly struggling with money, these principles are just as relevant, if not more so. Take a moment and ask yourself the same question. What value am I actually being paid for in my job? Are you just selling your time, showing up from 9 to 5, or are you actively solving problems for your employer or your clients? People who understand their value can articulate it better, negotiate for higher pay, and find more fulfilling work. They see their salary not just as a payment for being present, but as a fair exchange for the specific problems they solve and the value they create. This mindset shift can be the difference between feeling stuck in a dead-end job and building a thriving career. It moves you from being a passive employee to being the CEO of your own career, constantly looking for ways to increase the value you provide. In conclusion, the approach to financial education in many Jewish families isn't about some ancient, mystical secret to wealth. It's not about greed or hoarding money. It's far simpler and more profound. It's about instilling a fundamental understanding of what money is and where it comes from, right from childhood. It's about teaching that money is a tool, a result of your actions and your creativity. It's about building a mindset of value creation, resilience, and financial responsibility long before the world forces you to. As the saying goes, you can't manage what you were never taught to understand. True financial empowerment begins not with a paycheck, but with the knowledge of how to earn it. And this idea of value and responsibility doesn't just stop with personal finance. It extends into the very fabric of how business is viewed. In our next video, we're going to explore why many Jewish people see business not just as a way to make money, but as a profound responsibility. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. Thanks for watching.